Morning, welcome to Resource Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. I'd like to talk to you about what natural emotions, what natural questions will happen during an SHTF. And some of you may not have experienced a 9/11 style attack, a national event, or a Timothy McVeigh bombing on the Murrow building. Both of those huge tragedies, tremendous amount of lives lost, property destroyed. Now, I'm not referring to a localized weather event, flooding, tornado, hurricane, something like that. Those will be completely different. What I'm talking about is a 9/11, how natural questions will happen as you're witnessing it. And I'll use myself as an example because I was on the road delivering goods through a delivery company, trucking company, and I had the radio on, and I heard the announcer say, "There's been a huge accident." A plane flew into a building in New York City. My first reaction is, number one, was the plane in distress? Number two, that had to have been a really awful pilot. Number three, what caused it? So all these things were going on inside the cab of the truck as I was hearing it. So your first reaction is, what happened? How did it happen? And what was the cause of it? So you're naturally curious. As the day played on and I made my next stop, it was actually at a bowling alley, and the manager was there, and I was bringing in her supplies, and I said, "Would you please turn on the TV?" And at that exact moment, there was another plane that hit the building. And I said, "Oh, they're showing a replay of what happened." I said, "That had to have been really a stupid pilot. Something had to have happened to cause this. I don't understand." But it turns out we turned it on just as the second plane was coming into a building. And then the realization of the gravity of what was happening was, I said, "That's not a replay. That's a second plane hitting the building." I said, "The first one wasn't an accident because there's a number two hitting it." And immediately I said, "We are under attack." So first you have questioning the news, your own eyes, and then the realization of the possibility the United States is now under attack. I immediately picked up the phone, called dispatch, and I said, "You better be aware of what's going on. And the United States is at attack, and I suspect will be a war." They hadn't heard too much about it because they don't have TV, radio on. They said, "Finish your route, finish your day, and we'll turn on the radio, get the TV in there," or something like that. So life goes on immediately, at least at that time, when the United States was at attack. And as I listened to the radio more and more, we heard more attacks, Pentagon, and another plane in Pennsylvania. So I did not finish my route. I said, my safety is first. We are under attack, and we are at war. I called the then dating, now Mrs., who was in her own business meeting. I interrupted it, and I said, "Close your meeting and bring clothes. You're coming down to my house," where I had been securing supplies and everything else because I started prepping back then. And it was minimal, but I immediately went into defense mode, prepping mode. First, I questioned disbelief. How did it happen? Where did it happen? Then I saw with my own eyes and came to the realization we are under attack. The third one was, where the hell's the government? How could you allow this to happen? The fourth is defense mode, secure my family, secure my friends. And we sat around and watched TV until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I called work and said, "I'm not coming in. I'm not going to be on the road if we are under attack and there is nothing going on. Plus, all the flights were grounded, limited traffic, barriers went up, but then the anger set in. Why didn't the government do more? How could this happen? Why are we attacked? Why are we seeing people being killed, leaping out of buildings and stuff like that? Why can't we do anything? Why can't I help? Why can't I do anything? So you go through a range of emotions. And the reason I'm telling you this is the people that were not alive or too young to remember, you are going to experience these emotions in an SHTF. You are going to say, why can't the government do more? Why am I not protected? Because the simple rule is the government is not here to defend each and every one of us individually. You are on your own. You're responsible for yourself. I made the decision to say, I'm not driving my truck route, my delivery route, if we are under attack. I am not going to be stranded 90 miles away from my home and my family when I should be back home defending my family, defending my home, defending my loved ones. And that went on for the next 3 or 4 days. Now, finally, when we got the okay, saying it was an isolated attack, then I made up my route and people were angry at me, but I don't care. So you have to make decisions saying, my life is more valuable than the supplies I'm delivering. My life is more valuable than somebody else I don't know who's saying, you have to go here, you have to go there. No, you don't. You make decisions for what's best for you. Process what's happening quickly. Fall back on your plans to meet at place A, a designated spot, a physical location. If you can't make it to place A, then go to backup plan B. If that is unavailable, have a third place, C. Have multiple lines of communication. Nowadays, you have cell phones. If you don't have a cell phone, have a radio. If you don't have a ham radio, then have a CB radio. If you don't have either one of those, then you have a hard line to call. I guarantee you during 9/11, when I was using my newly purchased cell phone, those lines and circuits were all busy. I tried for over an hour before I finally got through. So you can expect confusion, unknown, misinformation, disinformation. You have to be prepared for all of that. Then you have to be prepared for the shock and the gravity of what is occurring. You won't believe it. It was a tough, tough time that day. I was in disbelief. I was trying to process it. I knew, seeing the lines at the gas stations immediately, seeing the price of gasoline double because people were panicking, and gasoline stations were profiteering off of other people's miseries. I saw lines at the grocery store like we were expecting a winter event. People lined up saying, I got to get bread, milk, and everything else, even though they had that in their refrigerator. They panicked. They weren't prepared. All these things were going on. People were crying. People were upset. People were angry. People were in disbelief, in shock. All of these things will occur naturally. How you deal with those is how well you are prepared. I had a plan. Get down here. Do I need to meet you someplace? Can I do this? Here's where the roads are blocked according to the news. Here's where you can pass through. Here's what you need to be here as quickly as possible. Plan on staying for this amount of time. Let your family and other friends know where you are at. Have all those lists made up, ready to go. I don't know why it was on my mind and on my heart to do this video. I did it. I'm letting you know, be prepared. Something like this could happen again. Joe Biden is emptying out Guantanamo Bay. The first one was sent back to Morocco. He's going to empty out the rest of them. Do you think they have a grudge after 20 plus years? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they want payback. So get ready, folks. Be prepared. Have a plan. Your reactions will be natural, but you have to have a plan to get through it. All right? Thanks for liking and subscribing. Get yourself right with God. Get baptized. Greg out.